Here's what I made to stock our fridge for the first week on the GAPS diet in an attempt to heal my son's chronic autoimmune condition. But first up, my husband's meals for the week because he won't be doing the GAPS diet with us. The saying is so true that behind every crunchy wife is a McDonald's loving husband, and over the years, I've learned to stop nagging him about his food choices and to just feed him as nutritiously as I can while still making the meals he enjoys. I'm doing 3 different meals for him this week, and first up is mustard mayo chicken and rice. It's one of his favorites and I love that it's quick to whip up. I also cooked the chicken in the sauce rather than searing it first to save time. Next up is nachos, and usually when I make mince for the family, I add a bunch of veggies and liver powder, but he likes it pretty simple, so I just used a tomato base and added a ton of chutney because that's the way he's enjoyed it since his bachelor days. I served it with some sour cream and grated cheese, and by his request, some cheesy Doritos instead of plain corn chips. The last meal is a simple one of chicken cooked on the barbecue and served alongside a broccoli salad. Usually I would make the mayonnaise from scratch, but I had a lot to do this day, so I needed to save a bit of time. I portioned them all into separate containers and popped them in the fridge so he can just grab one for lunch and dinner. Next up is the meal prep for the GAPS diet, and we're starting off strong with a big batch of chicken meat stock. Meat stock is the foundational healing food that you consume on the GAPS diet, so I definitely needed to have some ready for the week ahead. I like to flavor mine with some onion, garlic, and carrot and let it simmer for about 1.5 hours. Then I strained it through a colander and popped it into the fridge so we can just grab what we need throughout the week. For our first meal of the week, we'll be having an oxtail stew cooked in some beef meat stock that I had in the freezer, and I also added some pumpkin and carrot. This was actually really delicious and I rated a solid 8 out of 10. Next, I made some honey sweetened marshmallows, which are not technically a GAPS recipe, but the ingredients of honey, gelatin, and water are all GAPS approved, and I needed something for the kids to enjoy whilst being on a diet that's quite restrictive in the beginning. The other treat I made for them are these Russian custard ice creams, which I forgot to film, but it's just whipped egg yolk sweetened with a little honey and frozen into ice cream molds. They were super creamy, and egg yolks are very nourishing for the gut, so you eat a lot of them while following GAPS. For a quick grab and go lunch, I made some meatballs seasoned with salt and pepper and cooked in meat stock. And one more dinner for the week, which was lamb shanks slow cooked in meat stock, and these fell off the bone so quickly because they were that tender. And that's everything I prepped this week to hopefully make meal times run a bit smoother while we settle into our new dietary routine.